reached the confinement where the so-called village boy was held up. What was so great about the boy that Durukti fancied him? There was no one in the entire world that Durukti looked up to romantically. What was so spectacular about him? A pang of jealousy and insecurity rose inside him. Was he too handsome or too noble or just too naive? But was the jealousy Kali faced even healthy? As a brother, he should be protective, not jealous. It was an odd choice of feeling, but he quelled it. The cage opened, and he saw there was a lad sitting in a bucket of water, shivering, naked. The Nagas came forward and he was pulled up from the bucket, his hands and legs tied to an iron chain, multiple ones, as if he wouldn't be restrained by just one. Why would that be? That was odd for a villager. He was brought to the front, and he had a brown loincloth wrapped around his privates. He was too much in pain, such that he didn't even manage to look up for a while, and when he did, Kali noticed nothing. He didn't look special. Sure, he had a muscular body and was tall, towering well over him. But what was so special about him? You are the prisoner everyone talks about. Kali walked, circling him as multiple Nagas held the boy by the chains, one holding him by the neck. The boy didn't say anything. Your name? What is it? The boy didn't answer. Doesn't matter, though. I will know of it soon enough. Kali sniggered. My sister. She's fond of you and thinks you can help us. At that moment, the boy's head lifted. He looked through the wet hair that fell over his face. You are Kali? Kali came forward, hands on his hips, raising his eyebrows, or at least what was left of them. Ah, you know my name. He paused, laughing to himself. It's funny how my sister thinks, after destroying your village, that you will help us. That is ridiculous. But that is exactly what a person who is meddling with things beyond her station thinks. She's young. Hormones, you know. She just wants to find a way to save you from the trial. He impassively watched the boy. But nothing can save you from the hanging. In fact, I think I have decided to not just let your execution be a public punishment, for my sister to really understand her mistake and realize she doesn't have the right to like anyone she wishes to, but also to hook up a false trial. I'll let you have a trial. If you succeed in telling me why you did what you did, which is killing the officials of the state, you are free to go and do whatever you want to. I see prison is really affecting you. The boy instantly moved his hand, toppling the Naga that held him. The ground shook, the water in the bucket spilled as the boy came forward, his muscles tightening, the veins on his face appearing more prominently. You are special, indeed. Kali stood inches away from the boy. They were close, really close, but the boy couldn't come closer to Kali. He was tied down. Very much so. I like that. And how do you do this? I am coming for you, Kali. I am. The boy spat. You can't have a trial about me because mortals like you don't have the power to conduct a trial. It's only Lord Vishnu who judges us and forgives us. Kali scoffed. A religious fanatic as well? What have I done to deserve such hatred from you? I'm excited though. Please, do so. Let the God of all gods have a trial for you, perhaps when you'll go up or down. But till the time you are here, Kali's smile vanished. I am your god and your Lord Vishnu. He spat in disgust. And I will show you how. He snapped his fingers at the Nagas. Kneel. The boy was pushed down. He tried really hard not to, but he was continually lashed until he was left with no choice but to do so. See? Kali patted the head of the boy who growled at him like a dog. Kali grinned. He liked troubling the innocent. The boy was misguided. Perhaps fed wrong things about Kali, about how he was and what he is like. Thus, the hatred. Put him back in the prison. If he stays like this, he won't survive till the trial, and I want him to be out there, in the open, for Durukti to see how her choices have led to this poor boy's death. I want her to see and regret, realize that you don't go behind your brother's back. He spoke to himself more than to others, lost in his thoughts, before shaking himself up. As he made his way to the door, he heard the rattling of the chains. Kali looked back and he saw the boy had his hair whipped back, his forehead visible, and his eyes smoky and dark. I will see you there, he said. But instead of fear in the boy's eyes, there was something else. There was hope. And then, the boy did the unthinkable. He smiled. Vedanta had been waiting yet again, but he didn't wait in a disgusting lane like last time. It was far better now, but outside the inn where Vedanta's men had been slain, though everything had been cleared up, he told the innkeeper to not touch the blood. He wanted to show it around. He wanted to show Kuvera what his planning had done to his men. and he wanted to make sure Kuvera was adequately sorry for it. It had been days since the event, but his mind hadn't recovered from it. He was petrified as well as angry. He was afraid. He dreamed of a girl with silver hair ripping his throat apart. He had two guards in his room, wearing large bells on their feet, and they were ordered not to rest one bit. When they got tired and moved, the bell rang and Vedanta woke up and scolded them. The bells were supposed to be an alarm for when someone had entered his room, someone unwanted. He had Urvashi's room blocked by 5 men. "I'm not really comfortable with large men in my room watching over me," she had said, but she wouldn't understand the gravity of the situation. Indragarh was officially a war zone now. He didn't like it since he would have to protect Urvashi more than himself. A thought about sending her to the south, to the Dakshinis, came to his mind. He had a few friends down there. Vibhisna was a great man when it came to helping out those in need, and Vedanta could trust him. But then, a thought crossed his mind. Vedanta had other enemies down south. It was wars in those kingdoms because Vedanta had fought with them over trade and territory issues. He had to be careful. Now he stood in front of the inn he had systematically destroyed by sending all the women and men to prison. The innkeeper, the new one hired by Vedanta, had been working to make this establishment respectable. But the rooms where the murder had happened needed to remain untouched. In the wee hours of the night, while Vedanta waited for the Yaksh king, he was met by the innkeeper, who said, "There was a guest here, my lord. He has taken a room for himself even though I was very insistent we weren't." "You didn't give him those rooms?" No, kingship," the innkeeper whimpered. Perhaps the sight of blood had disgusted the poor man. "Not at all. All right, let him stay. Just make sure to send the guards on that floor so if he moves, we know," Vedanta ordered. He was respectful of private establishments, but not illegal ones. He was given the religious city of Indragarh by his father, and he had made sure to worship the god of all gods, Lord Vishnu, and the head of the Trimurti. He was someone who Vedanta would kneel before and pray to every week, along with Urvashi as well. He had built a large golden statue of him in the midst of the city. Everyone would go and worship it. Though of course now, with the inclusion of the Tiavanbialis, many second-guessed that Vedanta, who worshipped the gods, had fallen prey to atheism, which was false. Vedanta knew better now. He knew they had their own cultures, rituals and traditions just like Manav.